Hello everyone, it's Jennifer and thank you for joining me today. I was going through some of my boxes in preparation for the month, right? It's the beginning of the month, the beginning of June. We're going to have some bead boxes coming out and subscriptions coming out, and I wanted to make sure I had things all in line. I came across Lady Penelope, and I have not busted into the Lady Penelope Bead Strand duo yet from Jessie James Beads. Also too, I think this is called the Tea House Bead Strand. And these are just gorgeous beads that are top drilled that I love just randomly putting in pieces. And I mean, you can very easily just make up your own bracelet or anything just with this. And I think that would make for a beautiful, beautiful bracelet just as is. But we are going to use it. I think what I'm going to do is use it with some of these garnets and make up a delicate necklace with just putting like 3 and scattering them throughout the beads. Then I also have gorgeous pendant, and it came with its own little jump ring as well, and I really want to do something with this. And we are here though for Lady Penelope. This one here is probably, I think I said that Lady Kate was my favorite too, but I think this one's my favorite. I love these boho beads. I don't ever want to use them. And I love the rose beads, and I love that there's 3. I mean, you could very easily just string this up just as so and be done. JJB really does an incredible job of constructing these bead strands together, and you can just have a double strand. You can have a double strand. So easy, right? Well, we're not going to do that. And what I want to do is I want to use these little sections here and adding maybe one of the seed beads. This is caramel creamer. And then also too, and these are 11-0s, and I have some 6-0 seed beads too that I might use as spacers for somewhere. But then I also have another section here of seed beads from these are all from Jessie James Beads, just a great assortment of colors. But I also have this here, and I thought that would look really good too. I have no rose gold like spacer beads or anything, so I don't know why I don't. So we're gonna do that, and so that's gonna be one bracelet, I think. And I am going to bring in, I have some 20 gauge rose gold silver plated craft wire from Softflex Company. I also have some rose gold silver plated in 22 gauge, so that in case we need some head pins. I also brought in case I don't want to make my own head pins, I have some head pins here. I got these from Jessie James Beads too. This is in rose gold color. And then I also have just some random assortments. I do have some rose gold jump rings. I have some, these are 19 gauge and these are 18 gauge. So I'm kind of wanting to use those for the bracelet, but I'm still just not sure what I'm going to do to finish things off. And let's go ahead and bust in. All right. And I apologize if the recording is choppy, because every once in a while I have a cough or I have to sniffle. And I don't want you guys to have to hear that. Okay, so we're going to use one of those. But I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to keep those together like that. I do love those little hearts, and I have something in mind for those, I think. Okay, so let's keep those together. Those are so cute. So cute. Okay, and then we have another little section here. Okay, so we have that section. Then we have those. Keep those over there. Then we have another section, but I'm going to rip off that spacer. And then let's grab this last section. What we'll do is we'll put some jump rings in between so that to add length, because it's not going to be enough length. Okay, and then we'll just have that one there. Okay, And what I'll do is I'll start this up and then I'll come back when we get to the last one. Okay, I am back, and I didn't use these little guys, and mainly because they went through the whole of this. When I looked at these a little closer, I thought, oh, there's no way those are just gonna fit right inside. And sure enough, they did. I tried though. But what I did was I created my links, and then I wanted to bring in some of that little pinkness. And so I just use some of these thinner jump rings, and this one's kind of a random one. It came out of this one, but it was just kind of random. I might use it. But then I added those to just add some more texture. I love that link. That link is just, it's just my favorite. Then on the end here, I added just a single seed bead because my wrists are not the smallest, and so I need to make sure that I'm gonna have enough room. And so I might have to add one over here too, not sure yet. But what and I used 22 gauge on this one. I don't know why I didn't use 20 gauge, but I used 22 gauge. This is about 4 inches, and I was cutting off camera about 3.5 inches, and I have a little bit of waste here. So I'm gonna just bend over, and I came over just about an inch or so, 1.5 inches, and I'm gonna grab my round nose pliers. And you know, I get asked about my tools quite a bit, and these round nose pliers are from Softflex, and the barrel is not very large. You know, it's a very short barrel. It's not long. I do have a long pair, but ever since I started using these, I haven't gone to the long pair, because if I need anything bit larger than this here, I just go to my bell making pliers. I love the handle. I have larger hands, and so it just works really well. Then for my cutters, I get asked about my cutters all the time, and these are Tronix cutters, and I do remember them being quite pricey. However, though, it had such great reviews, and the handles are padded, and the reviews that I saw was that, you know, if you're going to be jewelry making and you're going to be doing a bunch of cutting, you want to have nice padded handles, and these are actually really good. And I love them. So I've had them now for 4 years, and they've not ever disappointed. I do have some pointed chain nose pliers. These are glitter. These are the Sparkle Beadalon. I think they're Beadalon. And I have other ones too. I do have the Tronix version, which again, they were pretty pricey, and they have the nice point too. But what I started, and I love them, I absolutely love them. But the only thing was that I started getting to where they would, the jump rings would slip out of them. And so I needed something that had a little bit more grip. And so I use these. I also have flat nose pliers, and they are also Tronix, and I dip those in Tool Magic. I use also a second pair are these bent chain nose pliers, and these are Xuron, and I love these. For one thing, they have a fine tip, so that when I need to get a small loop, when I'm trying to get my loop here and I'm trying to tuck in the tail, these little guys get in perfectly, and they're nice and bent. So if I'm holding my hand like this, look at the angle. That's perfect, because then I come in with this side and go that way, rather than having something straight out. And yeah, so I don't have to fight it. So the reason why I bring up the tools is because this last weekend I had an order, a new customer on my Etsy shop, and she had said how her response, because I always I'll message the buyer and say, hey, your order is, sorry, my eyes, your order is all packaged up and ready to go. And I will let them know when I'm going to take it down to the post office. So if it's over the weekend, I try to get it done right away. And so it's ready for either Saturday if it's early enough, or Monday first thing. And when this particular new customer responded and she said, I'm new to jewelry making. I'm like, oh, wow. Well, let's talk. I was so lucky when I started out that I got in with the right companies and the right designers that support those companies or are influencers for those companies. And I was just really, really lucky. And I just feel like I want to give back. And I'm by no means a seasoned jewelry maker. I've only been doing this for a few years. But if I could help someone the way everybody else has helped me, I want to bring this person into our community. And so that's why I wanted to share my tools, because I did share with her that I have a YouTube channel. Go over and watch it and see what else is out there. And so hopefully she's watching. All right, so what I have is I have a 7, just a 7. It's a 90-degree angle bend. And I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, and I try to come in about the same place every time. I do have a mark, but the mark kind of disappears even though I use Sharpie, but I just kind of know where I go. Okay. And I'm going to form that over the barrel. I'm not going to pull on it. I'm just going to form it over the barrel. I'm just going to let go a little bit of it because I need to get this end pushed over to the back. And then I'm going to push that to the back, and then I need to get that centered. And that is all nice and centered. Okay. I'm going to come in now with my one pair of my chain nose pliers. And what I'm going to do before I do anything is I'm just going to bend that over. And I just bend it over a little bit. You can see here. And that just kind of locks it in place. And what it does do also is it gives me a little bit more room to get closer to that base, because you don't want your chain nose pliers to go over where your wire meets, where it overlaps. So then I'm going to go around a few times, and I let go at every half turn just because I feel like I can make it tighter, cleaner. You can't rush perfection, or you can't speed accuracy, all those things, right? And so I just always go slower. Now, I could tuck that in. I need to tuck that in, but I'm going to wait until I have my beads up against it, because I have a tendency that when I go to tuck that in, I get it all wonky. So I'm going to add one of these seed beads. These are 8/0 seed beads, and I don't know what the color is because the color has wore off, but there's like a topaz. I think it's called, I think I saw Duracoat. And so, yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool because there was a little bit of rose gold tinge in there. And then also too, it fit over the, or it fit alongside those spacers. Okay. And then we're going to add, and then we're going to add another one. Okay, here's the front. And what I call the front is where my wire wrapping starts. So this is where my wire wrapping started, right there. So I call that the front. And I want the front to be on the same, on the other side. I'm really, really weird that way. I don't know if anybody ever pays attention to that, but I don't know. It's a thing for me. Might not be a thing for everybody. But I'm going to go ahead and come in, and also too, I come in a little bit off the edge. When I'm using 22 gauge wire, which is thinner than the 20 gauge, I will go at the very tippy tip to get my 3 wraps. I only like to do 3 wraps. And then when I have 20 gauge, I'm going to come a little bit off the tip, just a little bit, so I have more room. Come in with my round nose pliers, and I try to get about in the same place as I was. And then rotate, and then push to the back, and then get that all nice and evened up or centered. I come in with my chain nose pliers. I'm gonna just lock that in place a little bit. You can use your fingers if you want. I prefer the chain nose pliers because I feel like I have more control. I can pull it tighter, and yeah. Okay. All right, and there's our 3, and I probably made it just a little too tight, and that's okay. I mean, I can break my seed bead, but we can also just maneuver stuff around. Okay, now I'm going to come in and grab onto that and just tuck in that little end, if I can get a hold of it. Okay. I'm going to come in over on this side because I hadn't done this side yet, and tuck that in. Okay, so I have my little ends. Make sure that they're in the same direction and they're going in the same direction. Make sure they're nice and straight. Now what I need to do is make my little jump rings. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I thought I would get a couple of projects, but I think I'm only going to get this project in this video. Okay, then I'm going to add one of these little tiny guys, and one of them didn't fit, and that's, you know, just happens. So just if one doesn't fit, that's okay. You can get another one to fit. And I'm just going to, of course, it worked perfectly fine when I was off camera. But now, okay, so I have that one on there, and you don't have to add the kind of like gray one if you don't want to. I just thought it looked kind of cute. And there we go. And again, like this one doesn't want to go through. So don't force it, just grab another one. Oops. You don't have to force these guys. And again, this happened so super quick when I was on camera, but I'm not gonna show it all because it took me a while because I didn't know what I was gonna do, and then I was grabbing different seed beads. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's try this. This is what I did when I was grabbing them earlier. There it is. Let's go. There we go. Then I'm just going to turn it around this way so that I can get that all nice and closed up. Okay, get that all nice and neat. Aren't those cute? So cute. Then the second jump ring is going to have, oops, oh, I hope I didn't ruin that. It's kind of over the slit. Let's see here. There we go. No, well, no. Okay, so I think I put this on this side. Let's go that way. Let's grab one of these thick guys, and these are 8mm, 19 gauge, but they are pretty stinking tough. Okay, so we're gonna put, oops, nope, 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 nope. Come on, Jen. All right, so I think I did it this way last time because then it was easy for me to remember the front. Okay, because I went like that. Here's the front, and then I went like this. I added my chain nose pliers over on this side, and then the front. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, now I do want to make another one of those guys. Oh, I also need to make another set. So let's make another set of these. Oh, we need to make one of these guys. So let's do that. Again, we don't need that much because it's just one. And then we're going to come down just a little bit. Got that little 7 going, and open up, push to the back. That's a little wonky. Oh no, it doesn't look wonky. I thought it was wonky. And let's wrap around 3 times. Again, you can use your fingers if you want. This is 22 gauge, so it's very, you can do whatever you want with it. But for me, I feel like I have more control when I use my chain nose pliers. Okay, so I'm just gonna thread one on. I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna go at that tippy tip. Just like what I said tippy tip when it's 22 gauge. Give it that bend. And come around, hold on to that, rotate, push to the back, And get this all nice and centered. It's not centered at all. Let's go a little bit more. Okay. Now it looks a little bit bigger than the other side. Okay. And then I'm gonna go half, 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 and third time around. Okay. And let's come in with our cutters. See if we can get in there. Then we need to trim, or tuck, tuck, tuck. So let's grab our other chain nose pliers and get tucked in there. I didn't get that trimmed very well. It's kind of a little bit long of a trim. Okay, and come over to this other side and get that little tail tucked in. I don't think I got it tucked in. Yeah, I did. Okay. Right, so then we're gonna have that. Make sure everything is even, and it is. Let's grab one of these. Okay. And where's the slit? There it is. Okay, let's add this guy, this guy, this guy, and we will put this guy on there. Okay, and then we're gonna add that one, and there we go. Okay. Oh, look at that. Just so pretty. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to add these. So I couldn't find a lobster clasp, one that was like the same color. So we are going to make our own little hook. We don't need a lot. And I'm going to come in at the very tippy tip and just make a nice round-ish shape here. Okay. And I am going to just kind of, oops, needs to kind of meet the end though. Okay. Now I'm gonna just work hard in it just a little bit, just by applying some pressure there. I'm gonna bring in my small bell making pliers. We're gonna use the larger of the two and just form that around, because then we're gonna have a little bit of a hook. Then what I need to do is I need to make a wire wrap loop. I'm gonna come in about here. Yeah, let's come in about here. And give it that bend. Come in like so. Get that all nice and centered. And man, do I love a good wire wrapping. Nice coil. Let's do a little bit of a coil, and you could do a little bit more than just the 3 wraps. You could also put a bead in between here. That would have been cute, huh? Okay. And, oh, that's actually kind of, let's do one more for kicks and giggles here. And then I won't have as much waste. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. And I don't have much waste, but I do need to get that tucked in because it is kind of wonky. I didn't do a very good job on that last wrap. So we will make up for it right now and get it nice and tucked in. I apologize if I was off camera. Let's bend this a little bit. Let's get it a little bit of a bend. There we go. And you can make your hook a little bit bigger if you want. You can make it smaller. But we are going to now add it to here. Then, oh my goodness, I just thought of something. You heard that it just locks in place. These jump rings are so good. Wish I knew where I got them from. Okay, they're 8mm. They could be beadle-on. Okay, and again, if you want to make yours bigger, you can make it bigger, and then you just hook it. Just open it up, hook it, close it off, and then just close it off, and there you go. You have your nice little gorgeous. Then what you could do if you want is you can add extra jump rings. So say you are, say you're giving this away to somebody, well, you can add some extra jump rings. So let's do that. And then you have it as an adjustable. So you can add a few jump rings. You can add some dangles on the ends. You can do whatever you want. And there you go. And so if you have a larger wrist like me, you can come in on the second one if you want. And you have yourself an adjustable with a little bit of a dangle. You can add more. We'll add a couple more. Ah, these are really good. Really good jump rings. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a couple more. If these were little tiny jump rings, I wouldn't really advise that, just because if they're tiny, they're not going to be sturdy, but man, you can see how sturdy they are. Well, oh, they're 19 gauge though too. So let's get this untwisted. And there you go. There is our little bracelet. I love these components, so cute. So let's pull you in. Oh, here's my waist. Here's another thing, is I like to share the waist. So I try not to waste that much. That's why I cut stuff so too close. As you can see by some of these that are really small pieces. But there's my waist. Not bad, huh? Okay, and so here we have it. Beautiful a little bracelet using part of the Bead Strand duo. This one is Lady Penelope, and we'll come back in another video because this one was just way too long. And so we'll come back and we will make some other goodies. So be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it. Comment. I love to see what everybody has to say, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.